Hello and good evening, meteorologist Mike Adcock here. It's the 6th of May and we're tracking Typhoon Noul as it moves away from Yap Island. Should enter the Philippine area of responsibility Thursday morning. At that time, it would pick up the Philippine name Dodong. Take a look at satellite imagery. Do see the bulk of the convection now moving away from Yap. Still some lingering showers there. Much of the core convection, though, with this system is becoming much more symmetrical. We still have a compact eye-like feature there noted on microwave imagery. Shear still about 10-15 knots. It is in phase, though, with the forward motion, so not really a significant impact, and this system should continue to intensify over the next few days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest from JMA as of 10 p.m. Right now, about 240 kilometers to the west of Yap Island. That puts it about 305 to the north and northeast of Palau. It is moving to the west-northwest now at 17 kilometers per hour. Winds have increased. JMA now upgrading this to the fourth typhoon of this season, with winds sustained at 120 knots with gusts up to 120 kilometers per hour with gusts up to 175, and our pressure down to 975 hectopascal. Now, the good news is there are no typhoon warnings or anything in effect. Earlier, the National Weather Service in Guam did cancel that warning for Yap Island. Do want to point out a couple of things, though, that they're forecasting. Still looking at some gusty winds there at Yap as you're on the eastern periphery of this system. And really overnight could see gusts up to about 65 kilometers per hour. Dangerous surf, though, that's going to remain the case. Still looking about 3 to 4 meters there. And that's going to start to subside on Thursday, about 2.5 to 3 meters in height at that point. The real story is going to be rainfall. They've already picked up about 270 millimeters of rain over the past 36 hours. Still looking at another 25 to 75 millimeters before this is said and done. So with this, there is that risk of mudslides. So locals are urging folks to stay away from the steep slopes, especially anything that's not covered in vegetation. Down toward Nagulu. Now you're well south of the system, still seeing some breezy conditions, winds up to about 40 kilometers per hour there. Surf also going to be an issue on the north and west sides, 2.5 to 3 meters, and you're looking at another 25 to 50 millimeters of rain overnight tonight. The National Weather Service in Guam, they've issued their final local statement on this system. You saw that area of convection off to the east of NOLA. Now, that has become a tropical depression, so monitoring two separate systems now here in the Western Pacific Basin. That is, this depression is expected to develop, become a possible threat to Guam later on if it does get upgraded, which the models do clearly indicate that's going to be the case. It will pick up the name Dolphin. Now, kind of want to highlight a few things, and we've talked about this the past few days, and not only myself as well as Robert Speta. But the steering current, we have this cold front that exited Japan earlier in the week. That's starting to move out. That's created a little bit of a weakness here, this area of high pressure well off to the east. So that's going to allow Noul to continue to move off to the northwest over the next few days. As a result, here is the latest track from Japan Meteorological Agency, still forecasting that recurvature by the weekend. Now, what this means, still a lot of a threat for the Philippines in the area of, or the cone of air, if you will. Eastern Visayas, Bicol, Calabarzon, and Central Luzon, you're still under the threat. Now, that doesn't mean that you're actually going to get hit, but still keep an eye on this system. Looks like the majority of the threat is really going to be in the Cagayan Valley, specifically Isabela, Cagayan, as well as Batanes. And we're seeing the track kind of all over the place. It should continue to recurve as we go into the weekend. This system is anticipated to strengthen. Matter of fact, by the 72-hour point, JMA is forecasting was it a 95 knot storm, so about 175 kilometers per hour. JTWC, very similar, just under typhoon strength, or super typhoon strength by the afternoon of the 9th. And then starts to weaken thereafter as it begins that recurvature. The key focus, though, again, is going to be the northeastern portions of Luzon, folks in Taiwan. It's best to keep an eye on it. Looks like the bulk of the activity is going to be off to your east, but still something to monitor. And then Okinawa Prefecture, you're going to be the next location under the gun, and that's going to be more like Tuesday of next week. Various agencies across the region, pretty much inconsistent, or in alignment over the next 3 days. It's once we get to that day 4, day 5 period, we see a little bit of the divergence there. Korea, they're on the eastern side of the pack here, showing it really avoiding the Philippines altogether. Japan being more on the easterly or on the westerly side rather. So again, the big point there is just folks there in Isabela, Cagayan, as well as Batanes. Definitely continue to monitor the progress of this storm, and then really, I think after that it's going to be Okinawa. Taking a look at the latest information out of Yap. Still dealing with some light rain, gusty winds right now, gusts up to 41 kilometers per hour. Again, could still see gusts, though, throughout the evening up towards 65. Visibility is unrestricted right now, about 16 kilometers, so really good there. Just some light lingering rain there. And our pressure's rebounded quite nicely at 1,006 hectopascal. So that concludes our briefing for today. Of course, you can get this as well as other information, not only on Noul, but on developing dolphin out in the eastern Carolines over at westernpacificweather.com. You can also follow along on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day and take care.